Hi, Bio 230. This week, I want to make sure that everyone knows what's coming up for the team-based writing assignment. That's the final project of this class. So the good news is a lot of this has already been done. If you look on your Moodle page, you'll see that there are these benchmarks. So we've been leading up to this big final writing assignment. And you've already done the topic proposal and the annotated bibliography. And this week on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, your first drafts are going to be due. And there's a link on your Moodle page for turning those in. It says Benchmark 3, Writing Drafts, and it has more information that you need. So I just want to quickly go over what those next steps are going to be like. So the thing that you have coming up next is your writing draft. And if you click on that assignment on Moodle, there's a template that you can download as a Word document. And this is just a screenshot of what you're going to see in that template. So it says, it's the writing assignment for Bio 230. Please save this as a PDF before you upload it to Moodle. On our side, Moodle makes it very impossible to view any other type of file besides PDF. So you're really helping us out by doing this and making the grading process a lot faster, I promise you. But you're going to download it as a Word document, or you can convert it to whatever you like because you can fill it in. So you're going to fill it in with the author's name. That's you're the author. You're going to describe the topic of the pieces, so you can maybe just copy and paste what you put for your topic proposal or just quickly write it again right here. This is just a general overview. You're going to say what the word count is for your expert piece, not including the references. That's just the text describing what you're writing about. And then the same for your general piece. Remember, we're writing two versions of these paragraphs. One's for an expert audience, that's like someone who made an A in Bio 230, and the other is for a general audience. That's for, say, a college-educated person who's not a bio major. Maybe you had a roommate who was a dance major or English major, right? A very smart person, but who doesn't have some of the biological background that you do. The next thing that we want you to say is how many sources did you cite? Again, this should be between 5 and 10. And then you're just going to paste your pieces into this document. So just copy and paste. This is the whole, it should be less than or equal to 200 words, not including the references. So that expert paragraph and the general audience paragraph, you're going to paste it right in there, and then you're going to upload it to Moodle. So again, by this Friday, you're going to download this template, fill it in, save it as a PDF, upload the PDF to Moodle under the Benchmark 3 assignment on your discussion page, and then importantly, you're going to send this expert and general audience piece to your peer reviewer. Your peer reviewer is someone in your study team, and you're going to pick who it is. The important thing is here that no one should be reviewing more than one person's assignment, and everyone should be everyone should have their assignment reviewed by one of their peers. So let's say, for example, I was in a study team with 4 people, then I'm gonna send my paragraphs to one of my peers, and I am going to get the paragraphs from one of my peers. That might not be a reciprocal exchange. Let's say Professor Torquato and I are a group, we might not swap. Maybe I give mine to Professor Torquato and she gives hers to someone else, and then I get them from someone else. I think you get the idea. It doesn't matter if it's a swap, just work it out within your study team. You should be reviewing someone's and someone should be reviewing yours. And there's a tiny, tiny quiz at the end of this video that just says, who are those people going to be? Reach out to your peers, and you should know who you are sending your drafts to, and you should know whose drafts you are going to receive. And this should happen by Friday so that everyone has enough time to read things over. Okay. How are these Benchmark 3 drafts going to be graded? Because on our side, myself and Professor Torquato, we are not actually grading the quality of this writing until you've had that chance for your peer revision. So really, we're just looking for an on-time submission as PDF, that the template is completely filled in, that the word count is what we expect, that the writing is on your proposed topic, and that the references are relevant to the topic. Just making sure that you're staying on track. We're not grading the quality of the writing. Again, we're giving you this opportunity to undergo some peer revisions, and your writing is going to get better before it's graded. However, Please provide your peer reviewer with a quality first draft. Take some time, check your grammar, things like that. Of course, your draft is going to get better. That is the beauty of peer review. But you want to be nice to your study teammate, right? They're not doing all the work. They're just helping you polish this document. Okay. So what is that peer review going to look like? So this isn't due until the following week. So by Friday, April 24th, you're going to turn this in. That's why it's really important that by this Friday, April 17th, you are giving your draft to your peers because they have to give it to us by April 24th, the following Friday. If you're late to turn it into them, that doesn't give them a lot of time to turn it back into us and to do that revision. So please try to stick to these time. And let us know if you're having any problem meeting those deadlines, and we'll coordinate with you and your peer reviewer and make sure that no one is really rushing. But when it comes time to do that peer review, again, you're going to go to your Moodle page and you're going to download a template under Benchmark for peer review. And it says, once again, please download this template, fill it in, save it as a PDF. And here are the things that you're going to fill in. And now you, in this instance, are a reviewer. So for the expert draft, there's a worksheet for that, and you fill in the reviewer's name, that's you, the author's name, that's your teammate, the person who wrote these pieces. You are going to describe the topic of the piece in your own words, so what was their topic about? You are going to double check their word count and say how many sources they have cited. And then we have a couple questions here to guide you in your peer review. So the first thing you're going to do is rate the science of the piece. So you're going to choose one of these options. Is the science completely consistent with the cited literature? That means you look at the titles of the sources they cited and you look them up, and you don't have to read the entire paper, but you look at them and you make sure that they're matching what they're saying. And you might find that some of the scientific facts are not consistent with the cited literature. Maybe, they accidentally cited the wrong source, or they made an incorrect interpretation of the science. And you might find that many of the scientific facts are not consistent with the scientific literature. Just circle one of these. One of those things should be true. Oops, sorry. Oh, what have I done? Also, my baby's crying in the background. I'm sorry. Hopefully his dad will help with that. Okay. The next thing that you want to do is, if the science was not completely consistent with the cited literature, just briefly describe how the writing could be improved. Maybe say that they could find some more sources or some different types of sources, or make some corrections to their language. You as a reviewer don't have to do this work for them, but it is really nice to make suggestions that will help your peer. The next thing that you're going to evaluate for your writers is the writing style. So we've already covered the science, and now we're going to talk about writing style. So you'll circle one of these. I found this piece easy, somewhat challenging, or very challenging to understand. And this is just reflecting on the style. We are not all expert authors in this class. I especially am not, and you don't have to be. But we do want to see that you are improving, because writing and communication is just a fundamental part of science. And across the college, it's something that as faculty, we're really being encouraged to incorporate into our courses, because the world recognizes that this is a really important skill, and it's important that students have practice writing and communicating in each of their disciplines, including science. So here your peer reviewer is just going to say if they found your writing style easy, somewhat challenging, or very challenging to understand. And next you'll say, is the grammar in this piece, is it perfect? Does it need some improvement, or does it need major corrections? Again, as a reviewer, it's not your job to make those major corrections. And again, as a writer, you might have great grammar. Maybe you always made A's in English classes and you love that. And maybe, you could use some improvement in your written grammar. And that's something that you need to work on. Either case is fine. In this course, we're really just about practicing that communication. And then the next thing that you want, I'm going to wait for that to go away, is as a reviewer, you want to comment on the level of the writing. So remember, there are two paragraphs. One is for an expert audience. So do you feel that the paragraph that you read was written at the appropriate level, or is it too simple, or is it too challenging? And you're going to repeat this for the general audience paragraph too, and you're just circling one of those options. So by next Friday, as a reviewer, you will download the template, fill in the template, save it as a PDF, and upload it to Benchmark for assignment on your discussion Moodle page. And you'll also be sharing this feedback with the writer of the paragraphs. So by this Friday, the 17th, your writer will have sent you their writing, and by next Friday, you will have filled out this template and provided them with feedback on the author's writing. How you share the feedback, you can send them this template, but also you might want to have some other method, and I'm just going to quickly show you one way that could work. So here, I think now you can see that I wrote a little paragraph here. Now I'm pretending to be a student, and I wrote about corals because that's what I do. And now let's say that I am now a peer reviewer. So one thing that's cool that you can do in Google Docs is you can over here change from editing mode to suggesting mode. So if this is my study teammates writing, then maybe, I might see something like this where, oops, I think that this person actually meant it's without an apostrophe. So I can change that. And then because I'm in suggesting mode, it just kind of saves it like this. It doesn't actually make the change. So just in case I was wrong, then the original author can go and they can reject that suggestion, and it's really easy for them. But otherwise, I'll just leave it like that. And I might want to go through and say, this sentence here, some scientists hope that we can treat threatened populations with good bacteria, just as we treat some human patients with probiotics. Maybe I think that the writer of this piece should specify populations of what. Then I can click this to add a comment, and I can say, do you mean coral populations? Like maybe that's what it should say. I can add little comments for suggestions here. This is just one suggestion for y'all. But anyway, you should have, this is fun. You should have some way of communicating your suggestions to your writers. Oh, this is great. We'll just stay in here, I guess. Alrighty, this is fine, I hope. Okay, so why are we doing this? Why are we doing peer review at all? So there are some benefits to the writer, and I think this is that if I'm writing a piece, it's really nice for me to have an outside perspective check for understanding and any potential biases in what I'm writing. So like, for example, that little example paragraph that I just wrote about corals, I need an outsider perspective to say, hey, Rachel, you were using words like symbiotic and probacteria and algal. What algae? What are you talking about? I need someone who doesn't spend their whole life thinking about corals to maybe say, hey, you need to explain things a little bit better. And another benefit to the writer is that I think for a lot of y'all, it might be helpful that you're sharing this with your peers really before you're sharing it with us as an instructor, so the stakes are lower. Believe me, I know how awkward it is to have other people read your writing. Like, I still sometimes cringe when I write something and I know that I have to send it to someone to read it over. But that feeling, that cringe, has gotten way less over the course of my life because my writing gets so much better when other people read it. So, but knowing that it can be uncomfortable, we thought that sharing it with your peers first before you share it with us as instructors might help you get over those feelings a little bit. And then also, just logistically, you're going to get way more feedback from your peer than we could provide to 60 students. Just mathematically, if you think how long it would take if we each spent, say, 30 minutes or an hour providing feedback to every student, we just can't really do it. We have a lot going on right now too, but you can do that to each other because you're each just doing this for one person. So you can get a lot more feedback. There are some benefits to the reviewer too. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've learned from someone else's writing. Like, they've either taught me a fact that was really cool, or there's just been some style and grammar things that I didn't know. You can really learn a lot. And then also, this is giving you, as a reviewer, practice doing critical reading. And I'm using this word critical here not to mean criticize. Critical just means analyzing the merits of, just thinking, is this good? Is this sound? Is this the right evidence that needed to be cited in this place in the writing? So you're analyzing the merits of. One outcome of critical reading is that it's awesome, right? Like movie critics give 2 thumbs up, right? It's still a criticism, it's a critical analysis, and the analysis was that it was great. So this is good practice for you. Okay, so how will this peer review be graded? We are looking again for an on-time submission as a PDF, that the template is completely filled in, and that you as a reviewer provided thoughtful comments to the writer that will improve that writer's final paragraph, right? We want to see that you actually took some time to read it and think about how they could improve their writing. And then finally, the very last thing that is due is the Benchmark 5 final submissions. There's no template for this, just if you look on your Moodle assignment, this is all it says. It says submit your final writing here as a PDF, include your expert and general audience essays with all of their references as a single document. So now all you have to do is by the following Friday after all of this is as a writer, you've taken your feedback from your peer reviewer, your paragraphs just got so much better, and now you've incorporating all of those changes and uploading those paragraphs with their references as a single PDF to your discussion Moodle page. How will we be grading those? Again, we're looking for an on-time submission of PDF, the appropriate word count and references. Your writing is on the proposed topic. The references are relevant to the topic. Again, we've already been doing this in your drafts, so hopefully you are good to go by that point. And then hopefully your peers have helped you with all of this, that the science is consistent with the cited literature, that your writing style is clear and there aren't too many grammatical errors, and that your expert and general audience paragraphs are written at the appropriate levels. Again, your peers should have given you feedback on this. So what we're really hoping for is that after the next 2 weeks, when it's time to submit these final paragraphs, that they're all just going to be perfect because we've been building them over the course of the semester. And a lot of that work is happening in the next couple of weeks. So just to recap, there are some due dates coming up. Oh, everything is just broken now. You see how I can see it over here, but not in here? Just the world is truly ending. Okay. Y'all can all see it on the Moodle page. You know when everything is going to be due, and please keep up with the timelines because this isn't just about you now, it's about your peer reviewer. If you have any troubles, please reach out to Professor Torquato and I before the due date. All right, thanks. Bye.